What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome back to another week of Movie Mondays. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit-chat about everything to do with film. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun Mead. Shaun, how is it going?
Not even the entire internet collectively cacking itself could stop us from doing this show, Connor. For people who might be unaware, at the minute, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, my entire internet service provider, all of these things are down.
And I'll admit, while you were saying that, my left headphone also died.
Oh, that's worrying. Oh, but we press on.
It's one of those where we're just going to plough through. Don't worry about it. I don't care if the internet's down, Shaun. We're going to figure this out somehow.
Yeah, like, look, if it comes to it, we'll just have the entire show as like a Twitter conversation. And we'll just be atting each other for hours.
No likes on none of them. No. Nobody wants to know.
We get completely ratioed by literally anyone.
Yeah. One like, oh no, he's ratioed us. Shaun, this is Movie Mondays, and so I'm not going to ask you what I normally do here. I mean, I've spent the week gathering all the week's movie news. There's general news bits. Now, what's coming up in, like, I think it's on the 16th or the 18th. Oh, actually, no, it might be the week after, is DC Fandom. And so that's like 2 weeks away. So I think what's happening is, especially in regards to DC, is they're saving all those news bits because they don't want to reveal anything because you have to have the big reveal at the DC Fandom event. And so what that means is we're probably going to get a lot less DC news as the weeks progress until probably in a fortnight from now.
Yeah.
But that doesn't stop us finding news out from the source themselves, and that is Mr. James Gunn, because James Gunn is a great source for all pieces of news due to the fact that he gets asked like thousands of questions a day on Twitter, and he's someone that would reply to a lot of them, maybe giving answers here and there.
Yeah, he said, like, someone asked him about, like, why are you the one that answers all the questions? He was just like, it's a combination of, I have time on my hands, it's an interesting question, and it's an interesting answer. Like, that's what that's his validation process to reply to one of these.
And so James Gunn at the minute is, of course, he's got a long storied history in terms of superhero movies with Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy. Then he did Guardians of the Galaxy 2. He was about to do 3. Then they found some old tweets. They kicked him off and they said no more. Then the internet exploded and we're kind of like, he's pretty good at directing though. And DC were like, hey, we're going to bring him in.
Let's bring him in for our own ragtag team.
Yeah, we've only got one ragtag team and we only have one director who can do it. So let's bring him in. And so they brought him in. He did the Suicide Squad, and within the Suicide Squad he introduced John Cena's Peacemaker. So he is now currently working on that project for HBO Max, and it's going to be its own spin-off series about John Cena's Peacemaker. So that's where we are up to now, and we know that next year he is bringing out, I think it's the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special is set to come out next Christmas.
Yes.
And he said he's going to do a big reveal of a big character, but he's given no other context towards that, so we can't really speculate. But another interesting thing of one of the Q&As is that he was asked what's going to happen after that, and he actually said he's developing another DCEU project after Peacemaker, which is... It was answered in one small question on Twitter, but that's really big news.
That's massive.
That nobody's kind of picked up on due to the fact that James Gunn has now said that he's working on another DCEU project. So he's no longer Marvel exclusive.
Yeah, he's a kind of a free agent. He can pick wherever he goes. Back when we were on the radio, we did have a brief discussion of imagine James Gunn doing a Green Lantern movie.
Well, see, that's interesting because people immediately jump to Suicide Squad 2, which is a normal enough reaction, or Peacemaker. Like Peacemaker getting his own film or something along those lines. but he has said it's nothing to do with Peacemaker. So he's not coming back. Not that he isn't coming back for season 2, if there is a season 2 of Peacemaker, but he says the project he's working on is nothing to do with Peacemaker. So it's a whole separate project that DC have convinced him to come back for. Now, if we know anything about this relationship that they've developed, when he walked in, they gave him free reign, and they wanted to give him Superman like 4 times.
Yeah.
And he kept being like, I don't want to do Superman.
I'm not interested in that.
But what that implies to everyone is that he has a little thing called free reign to basically do whatever the fuck he wants. So now we play the fun game of James Gunn is developing another DCEU project. Shaun, what is it and what could it be? What would we like it to be?
That's it. I was going to say, because how would you... I'm going to throw out a couple of things and you let me know how you feel about them.
Okay.
So, James Gunn doing Constantine.
See, the problem is James Gunn is so talented that I'm going to say, well, that's a good idea to most of them.
Follow-up question. James Gunn doing a Joker movie.
Okay, no, I'm out.
I knew it.
I'll only have Mr. Phillips doing them. My Lord and Saviour Todd, he can only do them.
Big TP.
Big TP. James Gunn doing... I mean, big news for the DC film area, just due to the fact of he's a massive to get him back.
Yeah.
And it means that he had lots of... I mean, we could assume he had lots of fun doing the Suicide Squad. And it earned rave reviews. Like, that movie's really good for a Suicide Squad film. It's
a genuinely good any kind of film. Like,
yeah. And so I didn't do very well in the box office, but it did very well with people who seen it.
Yeah, and it was, COVID times and things like that as well. And just from the perspective of this podcast, and like the kind of stuff James Gunn likes and does, this might be our best chance at a Clayface movie.
Nobody can see you other than me because we are currently on video call, but I recognised the moment you thought of that while I was talking.
Really?
Because you did like a little sly grin and you looked into the distance.
Like, he's going to like this.
We're always claiming Clayface movies the way to go. No matter what way you do it, it's just a great villain. It's going to look real cool on film. It's just excellent in all forms.
James Gunn likes weird body horror stuff. That'll be fine.
He does. I mean, he could also, if we're going to get bored about it, I mean, it does make more sense he just does like a Bloodsport film. Or maybe, I mean, while he was promoting the Suicide Squad, Margot Robbie came up all the time. He said he loves Harley Quinn as a character. I mean, you could bring him back and bring in Poison Ivy. You could bring in Gotham City Sirens. I mean, he wouldn't be opposed to that, I'm sure, as well.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he'd have fun with that. This is about as like wild speculation as it gets, because the only rule here is that it's tied to the DC universe somehow.
So he said he's doing a DCEU project with no context, and this is very early stages. This is like before, or this is going to be after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, so it's probably not going to be until 2023, 2024. But the fact is that DC have locked him in again to do another project.
He's in production on it.
He's working on it, which means that it's something he's interested in. And now we get to fanboy out Shaun, because it's one of the world's best directors in terms of movies, but especially ragtag group teams of superheroes or supervillains. That is kind of like weird comedy that everyone kind of likes. And then you combine that with a whole host of a universe that is a bit not living up to its potential. You have a whole host of characters there that could be done up.
We haven't seen the Flash movie yet.
True.
Could turn it around.
I wouldn't insult Ezra, I know that. But we can all kind of see that maybe it needs a kick up the ass, this universe.
What about if that last week we talked about they were thinking of doing a Legion of Doom with Jared Leto's Joker and
Yes.
Jesse
Jesse
Eisenberg's
Eisenberg.
Lex Luthor. What if
Yeah.
James Gunn is now attached?
I still don't want it.
Still don't want it. Still don't want it. That's the official view.
I have two rules: no Jared or Jesse together, and no Joker. Just give me something. Just give him any hero, anyone that you haven't done, and I think it'll be good.
Yeah. I think what he wants, or what he works best with, is like a fairly clean slate. That's like, I can make these characters be whatever, and that'll work. Or this character, it doesn't need to be like a big team up kind of thing.
I mean, would they have the balls for the Green Lantern film? We mentioned it.
I mean, it could be a way to go. He does know space.
He does.
And then you lead into Blackest Night with that villain you talked about, the Black Hand.
You know what's worse is they do that in the first film. They would do the DC-wide storyline Blackest Night, but they would do it within like an hour and a half film.
While simultaneously being an origin for Hal Jordan.
Here's Hal Jordan. Okay, here's Blackest Night. Okay, good.
And go.
And Superman's dead again. Oh no!
Yeah, or like they don't have a Batman, they don't have a Superman. Wonder Woman's not involved. Like just like it's Ezra Miller and whoever they get to play Green Lantern. Like that's it.
You know what? The more I think about it, I want Gotham City Sirens, and I want James Gunn directing it because
Margot Robbie as
him
Harley
and Margot
Quinn.
they've already worked together. And she's very much behind doing something with Poison Ivy. It just makes sense at this stage to bring that in. And you're already doing a Batgirl series for HBO, or a movie for HBO Max. I mean, it's all kind of sitting there for maybe 2 years from now. You've introduced all these characters. James Gunn comes in, writes a script, set it in Gotham, Batgirl against Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn, print money.
Yeah, and I think it would do well. And like hopefully it would get like a theatrical release as well, because I think his movies do quite well in terms of like, you know, bringing in an audience. Yeah.
I mean, look, this story I wanted to start with just because it caught my eye, and then I was like, nobody's really talking about this, but if they've locked him in for another, that's like a really big get for a studio that's struggling to find directors.
And for like, he only has two it's Holiday Special and Guardians 3. Like those are his confirmed projects with Marvel at the minute. I don't think there's anything else in the wings.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to move on to our next piece of news, Shaun, and this involves Marvel's newest film. We're starting very superhero heavy this week, but we can move on.
No.
Due to the fact that we've got a bit of a summary of the plot line regarding Marvel's Eternals, Shaun.
Connor, what are the Eternals?
No, sorry, so you're lagging there. It's just the internet's a bit weird.
Oh
Shaun,
no, what I said was, Connor, what are the Eternals?
What are the Eternals?
It's like I can hear
no,
myself.
But Shaun, no, seriously.
Repeating.
No, Shaun, is there an echo in this room? Shaun, what's the Eternals?
What are the Eternals? That's a funny bit that Connor came up with, and it's never dropped once.
For the movie, we will be bringing out merch that just says, Shaun, what are the Eternals?
That's true. That is a thing that's in the wings. Spoilers. But one day you're going to ask, and I'm going to go into the full history, and it's going to be 20 minutes long.
But I don't want that. I want the sadness of the first 5 seconds and then the very shitty explanation.
Right, the Celestials experimented on the Dawn Ape, and then leading to a branch of superpowered beings called the Eternals, and
did you say Afternoon Ape, or did you say
the Deviants?
Dawn Ape?
The Dawn Ape.
Dawn.
Early man.
Sorry, I missed that. Sorry, I was asking a question. I missed the second bit. Could you just go over that again real quick?
The superpowered beings called the Eternals, and superpowered evil beings called the Deviants, and they're all weird looking, and so they've been prevalent throughout all of human history, safeguarding the world. And
why are you talking like that?
I don't know. The Celestials then would come back and judge the earth and see which side was stronger, and then they would kill the other half.
Alright, I didn't ask for your life story, Jesus. I just asked a simple question, Shaun.
That joke is eternal, if you ask me.
That means it's going to be around forever.
Yep. Like smallpox.
Nobody ever gets to see the sadness in your eyes doing that.
No, the day we do this, like a live stream scenario, we're all fucked.
So, Marvel's Eternals, we've had a bit of a summary. Now, a lot of people are kind of thinking, what's it going to be about? We've seen the trailers. It looks fucking great.
Looks class.
But still, the story came out that it's going to be covering 9,000 years. And at that point, we were kind of like, how are they going to do that? Seems like a long time to keep, a movie going for.
Yeah, but you don't see it in real time, is what I would say.
True.
I would guess, anyway.
I could only assume. Imagine the runtime.
There's just a big projector pointed at Mount Everest, and just for generations, humanity is just going to be watching this film.
So Marvel's Eternals tells 2 separate stories in one film, we have learned. And that is, according to a press release from Disney, as reported by The Direct, the plot of Eternals takes place across 2 different time periods. So one storyline will follow the Eternals' early days as a formidable team and a close family unit, while the second storyline shows the team in the present, obviously separated and now living amongst the humans, and the deviants come in and they all have to come back together. We've got a reuniting, we've got to get the old gang back together.
You son of a bitch, I'm in, kind of a situation.
Yes, but we've kind of learned now that it's going to be a bit of a parallel storyline. So it could be, similar to, and I don't want to put it out there, Arrow Season 2, flashing back to the island as
peak season of Arrow.
The moral of the story is a lesson we've already learned previously.
But 28 episodes are needed. I believe it, because then you have Kit Harington's character is the Black Knight, which is a family mantle that's been passed down through generations and kind of thing. So he could be the link that he's our character in both times kind of a scenario, along with the Eternals, presumably. Yeah,
I would assume. Hang on. It passes generation to generation. Okay, so we're not assuming Kit Harington comes in the present. Is he also going to be in the past? I just assumed he would just turn up in the present.
I would say, no, it's the thing about it is that the Black Knight, sometimes it's, 1,000-year-old man who looks young, but sometimes also it's a mantle that's been passed down through, I think it's the Percival family or something like that, and all of their descendants take on the role of the Black Knight and know all of the history of the Black Knight then. Kind of like a Ghost Rider scenario, but with medieval knights.
Yeah, and actually, by the way, this idea, this summary, kind of supports the idea that we came up with watching the trailer, that is Pompeii, that they're watching destroy the whole area, or maybe that destroys Atlantis.
Yes.
That's down underneath. Something like that we're going to see the destruction of either Atlantis or them basically looking at just volcanoes erupting and not being able to help because
or choosing not to help.
Or choosing not to help because that's just a natural thing that's happened.
Yeah, they don't need to intervene because it's not an outside threat coming in. It's you built a town next to an active volcano.
And so then the question, do you think that this is probably... It's going to be a good way to get people involved and kind of get them up to speed early on, but could it get convoluted over maybe a 2.5 hour period flashing back and forth?
See, I think a lot of... by the third act, end of the second act, start of the third, I think all of the history stuff is going to be dealt with. And then the big finale... where they all fire different coloured lasers at each other in the sky. That'll be purely set in the present.
It's a superhero movie. There's going to be lasers, and there's going to be a blue one, and a green one, and a red one. It's going to look real cool.
Yeah, and it will. It's by all accounts, it looks like a really good movie. I don't think there's going to be a problem really with having the... Because most films have an A plot and a B plot anyway. There's stuff going on in the background that touch in on every so often. So I don't think having that be in a different time period will change things too much. It'll just be a different story happening in the past.
Yeah, look, I was interested in how they were going to do it. I thought they might just like fly through the 9,000 year thing and then just get straight to the present.
Yeah.
But then knowing that they're going to flash back and forth just adds a whole other layer that you can see them all hanging out, or see Richard Madden's character and like say back in the day, and then you see him now and you see kind of the cracks forming as the Black Knight kind of comes in and starts taking some of the shine away from him.
That's the thing. Like with him, I'd imagine it's a lot of like back in the day, he was
Mr. Incredible.
He was perfect. But now he's a couple of things. Either the cracks and the lunacy are beginning to show, or he wants the glory days again. He doesn't like being in hiding.
Yeah, no, look, I think it's a good idea. I cannot wait for that movie. For a movie that I didn't really give a shit about, like that second trailer was so good.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, yeah, give it to me. I want lasers. I want different coloured lasers.
And look at how many Eternals there are, and think of all the different coloured lasers, Connor.
Oh, there's going to be all the colours. It's going to be like a rainbow. It's going to be so good.
And like that's the gateway then to just like an onslaught of Marvel content.
Yeah, just constantly. I think I read somewhere that they have 31 projects currently lined up.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Over the next few years. It's almost too many, Shaun.
Almost too many for two men to review week on week.
Almost. I would say yes, it is. We're moving on to our next piece of news, Shaun. And this involves a series that me and you very much enjoy, and that is called The Boys. So,
yes.
Shaun, how would you describe The Boys
What
to
are
somebody
The Boys?
who I'm not going to ask that. How would you describe The Boys to somebody who hasn't seen the show?
So it would be if superheroes were in the real world, and had managers, but also imagine if superheroes were celebrities first and superheroes second.
Yeah, they're heroes because of the celebrity, not vice versa.
Yes. And imagine, because I really don't want to spoil it because it's a really good show. But
I'm sure people have seen, say, Homelander, just even what he looks like.
What if Superman, but not good?
Yeah, he's Superman, but if Superman had been told from birth that he was amazing and perfect constantly.
Imagine watching the Justice League, but you're rooting for a small group of regular humans that don't like the Justice League.
Yeah, and so like you have all of these heroes in quotation marks doing good, but then constantly being like, did that get in the newspaper? Did someone take a picture of that? That's just take it, stopping for photos kind of thing. Yeah. So
if Superman was an influencer.
Yeah, and some of them are Nazis. We're not going to get into that. But so sometimes, Shaun, The Boys have a spin-off series.
Right.
And so the spin-off series, The Boys spin-off series, is a go at Amazon, and it's full of college age superheroes. Shaun, we're getting a Boys spin-off.
The Lads, or some such.
The Lads.
So when you say, like, is it the characters currently in The Boys, but like back 10 or 15 years, or is it a whole new cast?
So the mysterious college set spin-off of Amazon's hit series The Boys has been brewing for some time, but it has finally been given the go-ahead to tell the story of America's only college exclusively for young adult superheroes, run by Vought International. So shit. It is not going to be our old heroes. It's going to be a whole college full of superheroes who are all 21, which I can only assume means good things.
I mean, it's gonna be a teen drama, but with superpowers, like college drama. Like, have you seen Blue Mountain State?
Yes, it's gonna be that.
It's gonna be that, but superpowered, and like there's going to be, like, you know it already. Like, there's going to be the hero who's way too interested in power, and he's a bully. And there's going to be the nerdy kid that saves the day in the end. And there's going to be a big dance. And there's going to be there's
going to be a singing competition. There's going to be a glee club. And there's going to be states and regionals.
It does sound interesting. Like it reminds me of, there's a Marvel team called the New Warriors, who are like this young buck group of superheroes who are really reckless and impulsive, and they start a reality show around themselves, and then they blow up a school bus and kill a bunch of kids, and that's why Civil War starts in the comics. So I can totally see it being like, you know, young people with superpower, like, with great power comes great responsibility, basically. That's going to be the thing of this show.
Would you trust yourself at 21 to have superpowers?
No, I wouldn't trust myself now to have superpowers.
No, someone's definitely going to die, yeah?
No, I don't, like, what power? What power am I getting? Like,
Homelander's
Homelander's powers?
Choose.
See, I don't want to live forever. That sounds like a nightmare. So, Wolverine is out.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, not enough high buildings in Ireland. Fairly worthless.
No, there's literally, like, you have one cabin that you'd probably be able to climb, but you can't swing anywhere else.
That's it. Like, I'd get the Spire if I went up to Dublin, but that'd be about it.
Yeah.
I'd like Cyclops. Nah, don't want to wear. I mean, I wear glasses all the time anyway.
Yeah, but not like sunglasses.
Not like certainly not like sunglasses.
You don't want to look like Bono inside. That's ridiculous.
Fucking imagine looking like Bono ever. I don't know. Maybe like a Quicksilver or an Iceman, like a really good at one thing, basically. Storm, that'd be pretty handy in Ireland.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be working.
Actually,
that'd be hard work.
Well, I could just cause a storm if people are like, it's Tuesday. But
yeah,
I might actually pick Hawkeye.
What?
Imagine being able to just throw anything with lethal accuracy. Like,
tea bags.
Fucking... If I could ricochet a tea bag off the wall and into the... Like, I just think it'd be cool at a party. And, like... just holding a pen and just, like, you impale a sticky note on the wall. Like, I just use it to show off, I think.
Yeah, just, like, constantly just doing things that are completely unnecessary.
Just imagine being, like, with me in, like, work or something, and I want to get a Red Bull out of the vending machine, and I just throw a €2 in from the other side of the building. Oof. Like, everyone wants to hang out at Shaun's desk now.
You have to fuck a pen after it, though, and, like, hit the button as well. And then it comes down.
2 pens, and it hits, like, B7. And then out comes my Red Bull. And then I have to walk over and grab the Red Bull.
You need to walk over. It's a sad walk over after, like... Oh, no, someone would get it for you, though. Like, if you were that cool. So I'd be like, fuck, we may pick this up for him. He's an absolute
we'll get
legend.
That over to him, yeah. And then they try and throw it to me, and they miss. And I'm like, it's okay, you'll get there one day. And then
I always say the same thing when it comes to powers. Stop time. If I could just stop time.
It's like, pretty good.
I beat everybody.
But then what if you lose your powers when time is stopped?
That's not how it works. I'd be
I wasn't
free.
aware you knew how it worked.
I knew how it worked. You get to make your own rules about cokes and tea bags.
Can you just stop time though, or is it like a button you have to press?
It's not like what you said, Bernard's watch.
Yeah,
it's not like Bernard's watch. I'm just able to stop time.
Right. What would you use that for?
Or maybe reverse time? Would you like to reverse time? Like,
I'd micromanage myself to death if I could reverse time.
Like the Clock King. But sometimes he has power, sometimes he doesn't.
No,
if you could stop time though, like just pause it, go into the bank, rob the bank, come back out, bring it all home, start time again. They don't know what's happened.
But like, can you bring other people into the time stop with you?
If I'm touching them, yes.
So we could just batch out these episodes then.
No, there'd be no news because the time is stopped.
No, we do it once a week. We meet up and then we just do like, because the Hero Zeros, we can do a load of them over the course of the time stop. That'll be great.
Bang them out. Bang 50 in about in a row.
Movie Mondays and Weird News, that'd have to be a once a week thing, but it'd sure make getting trains a lot easier.
When was the last time we were in the same room?
Jez, I think last December.
Last December. Oh, Lord. Okay, Shaun, I think we need to move on. So, next up, Shaun, we are going to be talking, I feel like this might be the latest time to kind of try to recover a lost situation. And by that I mean, the Warner Brothers, or the Warner Media CEO has come out this week, Shaun. A full 2 weeks after a certain... You know Christopher Nolan? Have you heard of him?
I'm familiar with some of his work.
He said Warner Media was shit. He didn't want to do that anymore, and then he left and he went over to Universal because he'd rather work for them than work for Warner Brothers. Well, this is all due to the fact that if anyone missed it, we talked about it last week as well, but Warner Media decided, without telling anyone, on December 3rd of 2020, that they wouldn't tell the producers, the directors, the stars, or any of the reps involved in any movie that was going to be coming out in 2021, and they just said they're putting them all out on HBO Max. Soz lol.
Woo. Everyone loves HBO Max. It's the best.
And so, a lot of people not happy. Due to the fact that you thought you were doing a movie for the cinema, and then you just got told, no, we're also putting it on streaming, so you're not going to get as much money. Now, this is the whole Scarlett Johansson thing as well, that there's an issue with.
Which is apparently settled, but that's
now
fine.
settled. But Christopher Nolan, he came out and said, I thought I was working for the best studio in the world. It turns out I'm now working for the worst streaming service. Which, I quite enjoyed that quote. But he now has left, and that is probably going to be the first of many. And so this week, HBO Max day and date plan was rushed, admits Warner Media CEO.
Nearly a year later.
Jason Kilar said he's come out this week, Shaun, and he's ahead of the curve. Because I know what you're thinking, right? All the directors are mad. All the actors were mad. All the producers were mad. And your biggest director, Christopher Nolan's, already left to your competition. Now is the time. Hot on the button of what he needed to do, he's come out and said, my bad.
You know the phrase, you want to get out ahead of it? I think... God, someone needed to say that phrase to him a while ago.
He can see like the small dot in the distance, and he's like, now to step out in front. Oh wait, no, it's already gone past. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh, we've gone wrong here. Yeah, now they think it's about how it baffles me that they thought that people would react well to that news though, like when it was originally announced.
Oh man, I mean, the funniest part of this whole thing is his quote, and it's literally the equivalent of, lads, my bad, right? I've fucked that one up, I will admit, but sure, look, what can we do? Are we all good? Yeah, we're after losing the company billions of dollars, have I? Alright.
I lost Christopher? Oh no. I'm sorry if I hurt your feeling. Oh no. No, you've gone wrong.
Note apologies on Instagram.
Yeah.
He says,
I wish I hadn't done it. Fuck no.
This is my favourite. The first line is, I'll be the first one to say.
Oh, you won't be. Factually, you won't be.
The responsibility rests on my shoulders, I suppose. And that, in hindsight, we probably should have taken maybe the better part of a month to have some conversations over what we were going to do with our 2021 film slate.
Jez, you should have done it you should have waited till the new year, I would have said.
He was trying to get out ahead of it, of the bad news.
He was trying to... Right, okay, so he wanted the bad news to come early so that right about now he could apologise.
Now in October 2021, I'm going to fucking put a killer apology out. We're going to make all this PR back.
Nolan's going to come back. Marvel are going to sign over the rights to us.
Do you think Christopher Nolan's looking at this going, God damn it, I forgive him. Universal, fuck off. I'm going back.
Will I ever see you again? Sure, baby. Next corporate takeover.
We tried to do that in a compressed period of time, less than a week, because less than a week.
Sounds bad when you say it, doesn't it?
Less than a week to decide on a multi-billion-dollar idea and kind of rob people of, I could only assume, millions and hundreds of millions of dollars between everyone. Just kind of took it away overnight. And we decided in less than a week, because of course there was going to be leaks, and that was going to be going to everybody on what we should do. So we decided to just do it.
Well, why not just put out a statement to be like, oh, we're considering it? Like, surely that's a fine thing for a company to say.
It cost 170 filmmakers millions of dollars.
Sounds so much worse when it's all condensed into one article, doesn't it?
Oh, my favourite is this. He's waited until October 2021. I think this is only a story for me and you, because we've kind of covered this story and like watched it develop, and they've said nothing. And it's now 10 months later, and they've done the equivalent of, yeah, look,
I think we'll call Mulligan on that one.
We probably should have vetoed. Probably should have vetoed on that one, boys. Look, we'll call it a quits, right? You won one, I won one. We're all coming out winners, aren't we? What?
Yeah, no? Look, no one's to blame. No one's to blame.
Us? We're to blame.
What?
Shaun, do you think Warner Brothers, this has mended all of the bridges that they have set fire to? Or will this maybe accelerate some of the departures that we were thinking of that we would be seeing in the next year?
I think this is so that when more departures happen, they can refer back to this statement to be like, we're sorry, our apology wasn't enough to keep you, so that they can kind of save face later on down the line, instead of apologising after, you know, a dozen directors leave your studio. Yeah,
I think the important thing is that this decision was made because it was going to make them an extra $18 billion, and it was going to take some money away from the people that made the film. But the studio would get way more, because HBO Max were going to pay them a shit ton of money
and
to
that's
get the rights.
Thing is that, like, the studio, they're not getting paid by the film.
No.
Like, they're getting paid for running the studio.
And so, I just thought that was a funny news story. I love the quote of, in hindsight, poor boys, yeah, look, probably...
now that we've seen how everyone feels about it, of course 10 months later.
10 months later, now we think we did wrong. Shaun, we're going to move on. We've got the full cast announcement for a movie that you are looking forward to. Now, this is one of those films that is very similar to, I would say, the Dungeons and Dragons movie that is set to come out. And that is a weird movie premise that shouldn't work, but the cast is so good that we kind of have to just go with it. And that is Wonka, Shaun. That is the Willy Wonka prequel starring Timothée Chalamet. Now,
I'm familiar.
The full cast has been announced. And, of course, it does star Timothée Chalamet, who will be playing a young Willy Wonka. And you also have a few people that you might recognise. So, Rowan Atkinson is also going to be in this film. There's a little known Oscar winner known as Olivia Colman who will be in this film.
Right.
You have Tom Davis and Simon Farnaby from the Paddington movies who will be in this film. I know you're a big you're a big Paddington fan.
A Fannington, we call ourselves.
Fanningtons. Oscar nominee Sally Hawkins will also be in this film. You have Keegan-Michael Key. He will also be in this film. That's an Emmy Award winner, Keegan-Michael Key.
The very same.
Very same. And, I mean, the list goes on, but there's going to be a lot of British stars that is basically a star-studded ensemble of, like, British cinema that are all going to be in this film surrounding Timothée Chalamet.
That's a really interesting cast list for a movie that I really, really don't think should be made.
But what about if I turned up with Olivia Colman, Rowan Atkinson, and Timothée Chalamet? Can't go wrong.
I acknowledge they're all very good actors, right? Rowan Atkinson is not really a draw for me to a movie.
Okay.
I would even go as far as to say Timothée Chalamet is not a draw for me to watch a movie.
Jesus. You are not going to like Dune. I'll tell you that.
No, because Dune is the draw for me.
Okay, fair enough. Jason Momoa is the draw, of course.
There's apparently a cut of a trailer for Dune, and it's just billed as like an action movie starring Jason Momoa.
Oh, that's good. And Oscar Isaac pops up sometimes.
Yeah, from Star Wars, you know him.
Oh, shit, yeah. No, from X-Men.
Apocalypse, of course.
Yes, of course. But yeah.
But look, this movie
excited?
will certainly come out. I'm not excited. What now? The trailer.
Oh.
Right? Slowed down version of World of Pure Imagination.
How much money are you putting on that?
I'd put 20 quid on it.
20 quid between us. Okay. I'm going to predict
you take that
that
action?
I would take that action. I'm going to... Someone write this down. This bet is taking place. I would say it'll be Johnny Cash hurt. Slow down.
Okay. But that surely the Trent Reznor version would be... But, or it's a regular trailer. There's orchestral music, things like that. The word Wonka comes up on screen, and it's the piano intro to World of Pure Imagination.
Oh, I can't give that to you. I need someone to say the phrase "slow it down," and it's like a load of orchestra, but like kids.
Yeah,
it's a kids orchestra singing it.
Yeah, I got 20 quid. 20 quid on it.
I'm now kind of agreeing with you. If they don't do that, they're missing a trick.
But if we're both... Yeah, absolutely. What are the other songs? Just Oompa Loompa.
Take me to the candy shop.
Yeah. The Candyman can.
The Candyman can. Oh, yes. That's good. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
And they're like... Sweet Escape. Gwen Stefani.
I think My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard, sang by Johnny Cash. Slow that down. Show Wonka looking sad constantly. He's just constantly trying to bring kids to his yard.
Do you think that's already in Johnny Cash's repertoire?
I could only hope so.
If it's not, I have some bad news for you, Conor.
No, but I think we could kind of put it together technologically. We get some words from different songs, we combine it together. I'm sure there's a song where he says Milkshake Boys to the Yard.
In Prison Yard, I guess. There's Milkshake is the tough one there.
That's a tough one. Where are you going to find that? There's got to be one song.
Dare I Google Johnny Cash Milkshake?
Just a video of him drinking a milkshake.
Maybe. No, it's all like burger meals and shit like that.
Useless
to me. Anyway, back
Shaun,
on track.
We're moving on to our next piece of news, and this involves Venom 2. Now, we haven't seen it just yet. I suppose we should do a review of the film for this podcast.
Should we though?
It's a pretty big month, October. We're going to do Venom 2 and Dune in the same month. But Venom 2 has arrived, and I've got some reviews. Now, I wouldn't normally do this, but they were so wide and varying that it was maddening to me that nobody could decide on what they wanted this to be or what they felt it was. There was half the people saying it was the best thing they'd ever seen, half the people saying it's not, it's absolutely terrible. But so I thought I'd read some of the reviews to you, and you just let me know how you feel, because I know you're excited about Venom 2. I know you're thinking this is going to be the best Venom film you've ever seen.
None of that's true, but you can read reviews to me all evening if you want.
My favourite review of the movie was, it's the worst movie Tom Hardy has ever made, it's the worst movie Woody Harrelson has ever made, and it's the worst movie Michelle Williams has ever made. That's it. That's the review.
3 for 3, it turns out. Okay, sorry, next review. There's not much to say on that one other than, wow, that's harsh.
The sequel inhabits the same comfortably dumb space as its predecessor. If you like the first one, you'll like this one, Shaun.
I think that's fair because, and I have heard people say, it's a dumb fun movie. Like, if you turn your brain off and just don't put too much into it, yeah, you'll enjoy it. But I do think it's probably going to be about as good as the first one.
I also have... So some of them were sitting a Venom, let there be carnage. You quietly ask yourself, what have I done wrong? Is God punishing me?
Wow, that's intense. I think that, and this is coming from someone on a comic book and movie podcast. I think that person might be too invested in comic books and movies.
I think so. I think just chill out, lads. I think it just could be dumb fun.
It can just, or it can just be bad. It doesn't have to. You didn't, lose your faith in religion or whatever.
I have never seen
there.
a bad movie and then been like, oh man, my life is over. Like,
no,
that's the worst thing ever.
There are bigger things going on than a movie being shit. Like, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't matter.
I went to see Batman vs Superman, right? And I came out with that movie and I was like, that's bad. But then I got in the car and then I went home. And then I never thought about it until we did the show.
Ever again. And like, I saw The Predator at 10:20 on a Tuesday morning.
You did?
And...
You love The Predator.
It's a terrible movie.
Yeah.
But it's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny to talk... Like, that's a weird thing that I saw that at 10:20 on a Tuesday morning. And it was me and a guy in a Predator t-shirt in the cinema.
How disappointed do you think he was?
No, there was a bit where in the movie they look at a bunch of motorbikes and one of the characters says, get to the choppers.
Oh, and what did he do?
From the other side of the cinema I could hear like like he really liked that joke.
What's he up to now? I want to know what that guy's up to. How sad do you think he was though?
I don't know. He seemed like a regular person that just liked The Predator.
Yeah.
Like the original probably.
And
was like, oh, this might be good.
He's a big fan of The Pianist. He was like, that's where he came in.
Yeah. But, I mean, we didn't chat after the movie, so I don't know.
I thought you would. It'd be like your brothers in arms, like you've been to Vietnam together. Like it's just you and him.
He left in an awful hurry.
He did. So I just wanted to cover that because we will be reviewing it, but I thought it was fun that there was nobody that could agree whether it was good or bad. So it's either dumb fun or it's the worst thing ever, and I'm interested to see where we fall in all of that.
Yeah, I'm going in expecting not to like it, but I would love to be surprised, is the thing.
And this leads us on to our last story of the week, and why those reviews caught my eye is because Sony, they have been putting out feelers quite a lot, and Tom Hardy has been going hard in this press tour, being like, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're taking Venom here, here and here. Now, it all relies on the fact that Venom 2 does well, so that's why I was paying attention to the reviews, because do people like it? Is it going to make money? It's making a lot of money currently. Now, we don't know if it's going to die out week 2. It could still die out, which normally happens with bad movies, but we don't know.
There's no time to die out. Also in the cinema, which will compete
doing
with
really
Venom 2.
well.
It's doing great. It's the best COVID box office release, it turns out.
And apparently it's good.
I don't believe that.
But we're finishing off with Sony. The news is that if Venom 2 lives up to expectations, they are hopefully planning to unite Venom and Spider-Man with a Sinister 6 crossover that would be separate to the MCU shot.
That headline exhausts me. Because that's just words to generate hype.
True.
And it is definitely the title of this episode.
Yes.
I'll be honest.
True, it's a rumour.
It's a rumour. But, are they just... Because they tried to set up a Sinister Six before through a series of ever more complicated backpacks in the basement of Oscorp.
So many backpacks. It was like a schoolyard.
They should do it because it's a good story, not because Sinister Six will make money.
Well,
and
Venom
I know
2
that's a
made
lot
money.
to ask. Venom 2 was made for the love of the character, surely. Why does anyone else do things in Hollywood at all, Connor?
So itself, I mean, the rumour has been around for a while, but why it's news this week is we've kind of got more an expansion. So Deadline's Anthony D'Alessandro elaborated on Sony's expanding plan with a more connected world. So he said that Sony's always kept outside of the new Spider-Man stuff they're doing with Disney and the MCU, and Sony always kept their Marvel stuff separate. So with this Venom, they're actually going to try to connect to that Spider-Man universe they're setting up with the Disney and MCU moving forward. And so they are actively now trying to connect the universes and make the long-term goals to make a Sinister Six film. And of course they have Morbius coming out as well. And so it's all lined up, Shaun, that we're going to be seeing even more Spider-Man, even though I think Tom Holland probably won't want to be Spider-Man for too much longer. I just get the sense he might leave after the next one or the one after that.
Yeah, I know there was news recently about contracts being negotiated for Tom Holland for a big sum of money. But that could be one film for a big sum of money, or it could be 4 films for a big sum of money. But I don't think we're going to see him last forever in the role, because he can't. You know, he was brought in when he was 19, 20, and now he's now he's what, like 25?
I think he turned 25 this year.
So he's not going to be fresh-faced young Peter Parker forever. He's going to be Nathan Drake eventually.
He is. He's going to be in the woods, covered in muck.
But I can see him kind of hanging up the mantle and then coming back as an older Spider-Man in the future to a Miles Morales maybe. And
you also have Kraven. So my question is, they're working on a Morbius and a Venom and a Kraven film, and they're also planning Sinister Six. But coincidentally, Spider-Man No Way Home has about 19 villains in it already. So, do you bring across those villains, or do you just go, right, well, we have Venom, Morbius, but Venom and Morbius aren't even part of the Sinister Six. Kraven's the only one there, so then I suppose you do bring them across?
I guess, the thing, and look, they've all been in the Sinister Six. They're just not the usual roster. You know, there's always that time that Venom led the Sinister Six against Spider-Man, and
of course, Michael Keaton is also in Morbius, so he's also in that universe.
If they are trying to link the universes more, the upcoming Far From Home, No Way Home. I always do it.
Yeah.
The upcoming No Way Home is the most logical way of doing it, because if you establish a connection between any of Sony's properties, like Electro, or Doc Ock or Doc Connors or anything like that, if you establish that already, then you can have Tom Holland Spider-Man pop over. But I don't know how it's going to work with the Venom, who is basically just a hero in those movies.
Yeah, I think it is a strange setup. If Spider-Man and Venom together, working together?
I guess, unless Venom sees Spider-Man and just goes rogue.
He goes with Morbius as well. Morbius is there too.
Some blood messing disease kind of thing. I'm not excited about Morbius at all, by the way.
Are you not? Even with our friend Jared?
Even with our friend Jared, anytime it comes up, I'm just oh yeah, that movie's happening.
Because I think Sony right now, they're kind of like, they've been sitting on this for a few years. Like, they want to get this off the ground ASAP, especially when Venom 2 is doing good in the box office for the first week. They're like, fuck it, all systems go. We've Craven, we've got Morbius, we've got Craven. Tom Holland might come across for one. They're already introducing all these universes. Fuck it, let's go all in, bring in some backpacks. Let's make a Sinister 6.
Yeah, and look, it's not unthinkable that there will be like little one-shot stories, you know, separate from the MCU timeline.
We thought their Sinister 6, by the way, was going to be in No Way Home. Like, my idea was that the 3 Spider-Man would be up against the Sinister 6. That just made sense to me.
Yeah, and look, maybe this is like 4D chess and it's all leading us away from the idea that the Sinister 6 are in No Way Home, which they definitely are, from what we've seen.
There's quite a few of them. It might be the Sinister 4, like, but there's a few of them there.
But, I genuinely wouldn't be surprised. I said this last week. I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Hardy's Venom showed up in No Way Home. I think I came down on the side of the line that he would show up.
Yeah, you thought, what was the scene? That
the lizard, a big hulking figure trapped in some kind of barrier.
Yeah, you thought that was Venom.
I said it could be Venom.
No, you said it was. You said, I will kill my family 100%. If that isn't Venom.
20 quid. Put 20 quid on it.
That's how much their lives are worth to me.
To me, and only me. Worth more to everyone else, it turns out.
Oh yeah, of course. So Shaun, that was the biggest rumour I could find this week, just in regards to, like, Spider-Man has a lot of shit going on right now, and the faster No Way Home can come out and we can kind of clear some of this up, the better. And that will lead to Doctor Strange. That will lead into... Did you see the cool logo, by the way? They did Doctor Strange's logo mixed in with the Scarlet Witch's headband. So her logo mixed in with his was the logo for the new film. That's something small. That's not even news. I just thought it was cool.
It's pretty neat. It is nice to have news, though, and not just, you know, just the smallest detail being turned into an AI generated news story.
Exactly. So Shaun, that is it for this week's Movie Mondays.
What a week. Will I take us out, Connor?
Yes, please.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Movie Mondays. We will be back on Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, Friday with Hero or Zero, and next Monday with another episode of Movie Mondays. Big thanks to everyone over on Patreon who supports us. Big shout-outs to Waffles, you're grand, but would the following students please see the principal after school? Ciara Lawler, David Clarke, Ed Ball, Joe Burney, Róisín Schrödóisìn Hally, Ryan Right Time Evanson, Shaun Heroes Don't Do That Jamieson, Dominic, Jessiah Florida Gal Green, Anna Team Irish Walrus Hjelmroos, Lil Dicky. On the day the boys were asked to sing, the one sang with a great rock voice while the other rambled as if he was stoned, like from the Bible.
Yeah,
and
420 Blaze.
Blaze indeed. Thank you to Danny McLaughlin, Ray, I Can't Believe Wanda Did This, and Sammy DeLucia. Thanks everyone for the continued support. We do appreciate it. We got this show out despite the whole internet exploding right before.
Also, our 2 laptops collapsed halfway through the episode.
So that happened. But I edited seamlessly around it.
So I wonder if anyone will notice when.
Just a big, massive, like, static noise for 20 minutes of the episode. But we always do our best to get these out. So thank you for taking the time to listen. All of our socials are linked below. There's also a Spreadshirt store if you want to get some merch. And the most important way you can ever help out the show is by telling one human being that we exist.
Just the one, for God's sake.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
Yeah, that's about it. So I've been Ciara Lawler.
I have been an AI clone of Shaun Meehan.
Oh no. And we shall talk to you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.